If I could time travel to the past 10 years, what would I say to my younger self to prevent her from taking the paths I took? I came across something that blew my mind on Instagram a few weeks ago. It's a quote, and I think whoever said it was brilliant. It says, "Smart people think their way out of success more than others because they're smart enough to find solutions to things, which also makes it easier for them to see potential failures and quit." But for the less smart ones, because of their inability to generate ideas, it's relatively easy for them to stick to trying out one single thing, making it work, because they aren't thinking about the potential failures they didn't even know exist. In a nutshell, smart people tend to overthink. That touched me because it's true. I can count how many times I've thought myself out of things that I talked myself into. Aside all the useful skills I've acquired over the years, I accidentally acquired one very dangerous and life-destroying skill: self-sabotage. I have mastered every nook and cranny of self-sabotage. It becomes second nature. From overthinking to fear of failure, fear of criticism, being judged or misunderstood, looking stupid, people pleasing, and quitting halfway. I've mastered them all. And that's why today I want to talk about it to my younger self and hope she learns from me and get a grip on her thoughts before they get a grip over her. Because all it takes is one simple thought and it snowballs into an avalanche of ingrained patterns that's difficult to unlearn, much like addiction. It started when I was much younger, I think around age 9 or 10, when I started writing in a diary. Well, not exactly a diary, but the back of my school books. And the first entry I wrote down was about how I was different, how I didn't fit in with the rest of the kids in school and in my neighborhood. I've always felt like an outcast, even in my own family. I'm the last of 7 children, and my siblings are much older than me. My immediate older brother is 8 years older, so I never really got so close to them. I was mostly treated like a child, the baby of the house, and it was extremely difficult to talk to any one of them about the things I was going through. Reason why I found solace in journaling down my thoughts at such a young age. The older I got, the worse it became, and the farther the space between us got. On the surface, we appeared to be close because I was there smiling and playing with everybody, but below that was a teenage girl who felt so alone and abandoned. So I learned to solve my own problems by myself, including the ups and downs of teenagehood. Even when I developed depression and anxiety, my family thought I was just acting out as part the baby of the house. Long story short, my feelings were never validated, and I believe that's when it all began. I started losing faith in talking to people about how I felt. I began doubting whatever comes to my head. I didn't even feel confident sharing my ideas unless they were set in stones. And I started walking on eggshells around everyone out of fear they'll think of me as baby of the house just acting out. Sadly, till this day, I still carry that feeling, baby of the house. Maybe that's why I don't feel an inch reaching 30, because in my mind, I'm still that child, the one that was never treated according to her age. But I desperately wanted to. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted that validation to prove myself. So I tried growing up faster than my actual age. I started learning how to act and speak like a mature adult, and I did. I succeeded in outgrowing my age. The result? Rather than fit in, I became emotionally detached. I was struggling through depression, even visited a mental hospital without anybody's awareness. I was 18 at the time. The more emotionally detached I became from my family, the more I found solace in my head. By the time I was 20, I was living completely independent of my family. I was working and earning a living, though I still lived at home. but nobody knew what was happening in my life. I never liked school, so I didn't bother applying to universities or colleges. I had a passion and I wanted to pursue it. Fashion design and writing. I started writing novels as an escape for the life I wish I had. After sending several query letters to literally agents and publishing houses, the rejections started pouring in. That signaled something to my brain. You're not good enough. That's why you were rejected. I don't want to believe that, so I kept trying for 2 more years, writing and rewriting, publishing the scripts and sending them out. Eventually, after 40 solid no's, my confidence took a hit. And starting from that point, that voice has never left me. You're not good enough. Your ideas are terrible. Nobody wants to hear them. That's the voice I hear every time I tried new things or get an idea. Fear of being rejected made me keep my thoughts and ideas to myself, even when I knew the answers. It's been 10 years since I submitted a query letter, but that experience and never really fitting in growing up led to second guessing every move I make, filtering my thoughts so I sound matured, doubting every idea I get, overthinking the actions I need to take, make sure whatever I'm doing is perfect, and eventually quitting after a while of trying. The voice would say, it's useless trying. At the end, it wouldn't work out. It would only lead to failure. Why bother? So I'd give up. That's the story of how I ended up here, broke at almost 30, despite all the skills, knowledge, and expertise I have. Eventually, I ruined my chances. All it took was one thought. What if? So to my younger self, I had to tell this backstory so you would know how I ended up here, for you to understand that self-sabotage doesn't start in a day, and therefore it won't end in a day. There's nothing I haven't done to rid myself of this destructive behavior. I've tried reading books, tried therapy, sought help from friends, tried getting people to hold me accountable, tried hypnosis, but nothing worked. The books I read were awesome in theory. Applying them wasn't easy. I quit therapy when I couldn't afford it anymore. The accountability partners I recruited had a life of their own, and hypnosis didn't work on me. There was even a time I tried deceiving myself into believing that I had little time left and that maybe the fear would trigger a different response in my brain. It did not. My mind and body had gotten so used to self-sabotage that it naturally happens, even when I'm fighting it. It's almost as if my body and mind operate on their own, independent of what I want. That's a result of years of repeated thinking and inverted actions. Despite the plans, strategies, ideas I have that surely could have led to success. So, to younger me, 2 things you should watch out for. First, your thoughts. They have power, believe me. What you think about has more power than any two-edged sword. So you see those little things you overthink? If you're not careful, it becomes a pattern your mind and body learns, and over the years, it becomes your biggest prison. So please limit your thoughts, especially the doomsday worst-case scenarios. The truth is, there's really no worst-case scenario anywhere. Yes, you might get rejected. Yes, you will get turned down. Yes, people will laugh at you because you make mistakes and sometimes say stupid things. But that's all part of life and part of growing up. If you think you can play it safe and avoid distance, avoiding failure, avoiding being mocked or called names, the result might just be you 10 years from now making one of these videos. But I know that is not what you want. I wish someone had tried stopping me 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. But because I detached myself from sharing my problems and feelings from others, I struggled alone. That's something I wish I hadn't done. Even though my family couldn't understand me and brushed my feelings aside, I should have sought out someone else outside my family circle. I should have never giving up on trying to be understood. So, second thing, don't close yourself up. Don't shut the word out. Don't find solace in your thoughts. It's dangerous. People won't know how to help you. So reach out more. Forget being laughed at. Forget being seen as stupid. Forget what people will think when you fail. None of that matters. Trust me. Coming from a girl who ruined her chances caring what people will think, I know better now. And that's why I'm making these vlogs and then private the videos, because I'm done caring what people will say or think of me. That is their problem, not mine. Other people's opinions has never put food on the table. The friends I feared would mock me when I fail are all married with kids. Some are out of the country living their lives, and I'm here broke, fed up, regretting. And they have no idea I'd imagine scenarios of them laughing at me. They have no idea. But that reality lives in my head, and I refuse to try because of it. Because of something that isn't real. So, don't ruin your life for what people will think. People can think whatever they want. It's their lives. They have the freedom to say or think. Whatever they say would matter to you when you're living your own life, because their opinions don't dictate your future. Your actions do. So, dear future me, learn to control your thoughts. The what ifs, the will it, the it has to be perfect, the fear of looking stupid, being judged, failing, those thoughts are nothing but thoughts. You see, that idea you think is stupid, give it a try. That project that isn't perfect, submit it either way. That feeling in your chest, say it out. That business you've been thinking about, invest in it. And most importantly, don't quit halfway simply because it's not working. Learn to give things time to work out, and if it doesn't afterward, fine, let it go and move on. But never give up halfway. Don't teach your body to give up, because when that happens, you have no control over it. I know this isn't the first time you've heard stuff like this, but I hope it's the first time you hear it from a broadcast almost 30 girl, so that one day when you look back at the 3 decades you've lived, talking to your younger self over a YouTube video about the things you wish you had done won't be your last resort at attempting to turn things